Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your favorite hosts and realtors, Lauren
and Naya,
and we are so happy that you are here with us this week. Let's get into this listener's message.
All right, so they said, my partner and I want to buy a home together, but we're not married. We're committed, but we keep hearing different things about how the deed and the mortgage should be done. We don't want to mess this up legally or financially. What should we know before moving forward? Ooh, this is a great question.
Such a smart question.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you decided to write in before. Hopefully we got to the episode before you bought. But hopefully you're using us so we know that, you haven't purchased yet. But this is such a smart way to go about it, because it's very common for couples to purchase a home and not be married. So
yes. So I guess, like you mentioned, when you're two people buying a home together, there are two decisions being made. One regarding how the title and the deed will be, and then who will be on the mortgage. So there is a lot to think about here. The title, how you take title or the deed will show who legally owns the home. And then, of course, the mortgage will outline who is financially responsible for the home. So yes, they're related, but they're not the same thing. So two big components of this home buying process. I think the one thing that's really important to share is that tenants by entirety is only available to couples who are married. So for you two, that won't be an option in this case. So be sure that when it's your time to do your title work and you're assigning how you want that to be done, you will not choose the tenants by entirety option. If you're not legally married, you just can't do it that way, but there are other options for you. So you can do, I would say the next two most common options for you two would be either to do joint tenants with right of survivorship or tenants in common. And Lauren's going to share about what each of those two things mean, but basically they will help you understand what happens if the relationship changes, how the home ownership percentages are split, things like that. And then you'll know which one you want to go with.
Yeah. So joint tenants with rights of survivorship, it's pretty much like you and your partner have equal shares in the home, right? And then tenants in common, you have unequal shares. So I'll kind of explain a little bit more. You kind of have a co-ownership structure for assets, so all your property, bank accounts, things like that, where two or more individuals hold equal, undivided interest into the home. So you do have that option to move forward that way, where you're like, okay, we're both putting the same amount in when it comes to down payment and closing costs, all of that. We'll be splitting the mortgage equally, so we want to make sure that it's split equally if something does happen. And then for tenants in common, I figured just so I could pull it up for you guys, this is where you have unequal for undivided interest. So you do not have equal shares. That means maybe your partner may have put in 60% and you put in 40%. So that's what that means. And then when something does happen, it's split in that way. So you do have the option of either joint tenants with right of survivorship or tenants in common, and it will affect when one person passes away, it will affect how ownership percentages are split and what happens if the relationship changes. So that depends on which one you go with.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's important to remember too, like for the mortgage, the thing that should be top of mind is like, this is all about repayment and your repayment risk. And then for the deed, it's all about ownership rights. And so for the mortgage, you two can apply jointly for a mortgage, or depending on the lender, you may be able to have one person qualify and still both of you be on the title for the home. So there are lots of options. You'll want to explore lenders to see what option may be best for you both. It's good to know that you have options in that regard. But remember, anyone on the mortgage is fully responsible. So no matter what, if both of you are on the mortgage, you are both responsible. If only one of you is on the mortgage and, two of you still may be splitting it, sending money to each other, however you want to do it, behind the scenes, that's fine. But that one person who's on it is going to be who is held responsible by that mortgage servicer, by the bank. So that's super, super, super important to know. No matter how the relationship changes, no matter what happens, whoever's name is on that mortgage, they're coming for that money, point blank, period. It's critical that you both are clear on this. Not being married, maybe you still want to consider having some sort of something, just maybe get some an ear or some advice from an attorney would probably be wise, no matter, for the both of you, sure. Like, no matter how much you're in love, just so that everybody's on the same page. Like, nobody thought it was like this later. Like, right. Everybody be on the same page from the beginning.
Someone professional. Yeah. It's in the business. They know what they're doing. I mean, you can talk to your parents, fine. But you can talk to your siblings, your best friend, who never bought a house. But honestly, I feel like talking to a real estate attorney, not even necessarily us, like talk to a title attorney, real estate attorney that can tell you, like, these are the risks that you take, and these are not the risks. So, and discuss all your exit plans before you buy, which is why I'm so happy you wrote this prior.
Tell us, what do you mean about an exit plan?
Like, if you're having conversations with your partner about anything before you move into a house, like that is, I feel like you gotta talk. Y'all have to talk before moving in.
Worst case scenario,
right? Like, what happens if someone does get sick? What happens if someone loses their job? What happens if the government shut down? Can one person afford the house if another person's income just stops for some reason? What happens if, I don't know, what happens if somebody gets a new job and you're trying to figure out, there's so many things that can happen, and you're not going to be able to talk about them all and figure them out all before you buy. But the most important ones, finances, like, that's so big. Communication, who is going to do certain things with the house, who's going to be responsible to pay, make sure the mortgage is paid, or make sure money is in the account. These are things. Are you going to have a joint account for the bills when it comes to the mortgage? What about other things that come with the house? It's not just the mortgage payment, it's all the electricity bills and HOA and whatever. Like, what about all those other fees? Make sure you talk about everything that goes into owning a home before you actually purchase it.
Perfect.
So having an extra strategy is knowing when you got to get out and who is going to be responsible. Because, like you said, if one person's on the loan,
they're looking for one person at the bank.
And then, so what happens? Do you have an extra strategy if you're the one that's left with the house and you can't even afford the mortgage? Like, so just have a plan if you can, especially financially, if you're the one on the loan.
So if it's going to be the case where only one of you is on the mortgage, you for sure want to be sure that all the conversations are had, you've had some legal advice, and you feel fully confident in doing so. But this is a great question, smart to be exploring before you buy, and to be aware of all of your options and what it entails. This isn't about like anything other than, I think, protection in the journey of you two buying and building together in the way that you see fit. So buying a home with a partner is a beautiful step, and married or not, it's really great that you two are exploring this. So so
all right,
I think that's it.
That is a wrap.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. We are so glad to have you back again. Be sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're on all platforms. Whichever one you like, you'll find us there. See you next week.